So you have to note these values in a table form. So here, after this, you have to repeat the experiment for 10 volts. So here, so like this, you have to do the experiment. You have to note down the values in a table. So here, so, so first I applied 5 volts. Next I'm getting the voltages V1, V2, V3, V4. So after that you have to do here. So you have to do this experiment for 5 volts, 10 volts, 15, 20, 25, and you have to measure the voltages from V1 to V4. So after that you
Sir,
are going
exact
to
it's not coming na sir. V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4.
yeah, little bit louder once again.
Sir, exactly we are not getting na sir. Vs is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4.
Yeah, yeah. So here it is practical values. This may differ. The resistor we are using that will have a tolerance of plus or minus 5% like that. See here. Wait. So there will be slight errors in the instruments. Okay, we cannot get the exact value. So some voltage drop will take in the connecting wires. So connecting wires, some voltage drop will be there. So you are going to get almost equal. You cannot get exactly 5 volts because you here. Okay. So here the so due to connecting wires also there will be some voltage drop, and here the meter which we see here. So one thing is there will be some voltage drop in the connecting wires, and also here the voltmeter reading it will not be exact. It will also some tolerance. You can take plus or minus 5%. So voltmeter reading will it will show some slight error, some 2% or 3% error will be there. So due to that here, so next here for 10 volts you are seeing this one. So these are here almost equal. You are going to get almost equal. The practical values you cannot get the same, but theoretical values you can get the exact values. So this is about the verification of KVL. And coming to the theoretical calculations. So let us do the theoretical calculations. So you can see R1, R2, R3, R4 are in series. And let us apply KVL for the loop. So KVL, sum of voltage rises is equal to voltage drops. So what is V1 as per Ohm's law? V1 equal to IR. So here we can write R1I1, R1I, because here the current flowing through జరుగుతుంది సార్. So here V1 equal to R1I. As per Ohm's law, what is the current flowing through R1? I. Voltage across R1 is V1. So V1 equal to I into R1. I into R1. Or simply R1I. Similarly, what about V2? Yes, can anyone tell what is V2? V2 can be written as. So I am writing V1 is equal to V1 is equal to I into R1. So what about V2?
I into R2.
I into
R2.
R2. What about V3?
R3.
V3. Anyone?
I into R3.
I into R3. Yes. Similarly, V4 is equal to I into R4. So we got the voltage drops and voltage rise is Vs. So Vs can be Vs equal to, so substitute those values. Vs equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4. So V1 can be written as R1 into I, or simply I into R1. R2, V2 is R2 into I, V3 is R3 into I, V4 equal to R4 into I. So here substitute the values of resistors. So you are going to get these values. So resistor values are, so here. So resistor values are there. Substitute these resistor values in the equation. So finally you are going to get the relation between Vs and I. Suppose if Vs equal to 5 volts, then what about I? You are going to get the value I. So once you get the value of I, you substitute the value of I in V1. So here, what is V1? R1 into I. So here, R1 is 1 kilo, 1 into 10 power 3. What is the I? 0.88 milliamperes, 0.88 into 10 power minus 3. So you are going to get 0.88 volts. So V1. Coming to V2, 1.32. Same. R2 into I, you are going to get 1.32 volts. Similarly, V3, V4, you are going to get these values. And here now, if V1 add V1, V2, V3, V4, you are going to get some 5.014. Why? Because means here approximated. So 5 by 5.7 is not exactly 0.88. So I approximated to 2 decimal points. So which is nearly equal to 5 volts. So this is verification of KVL. Any doubts in the KVL? Yeah, please respond. If it is okay, then I will go for superposition theorem. Yeah, I'm going. Shall I go for superposition theorem?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, okay. So superposition theorem. So for this, so this is a superposition theorem circuit diagram. So here the current. So here you can have two voltage sources. V1 is one voltage source. V2 is another voltage source. So here V1 is one voltage source. V2 is another voltage source. And here IL is the current flowing through R2. So here this is a branch. The current flowing through R2 is IL. and A is ammeter to measure the current. So here this is a circuit diagram in the lab. Now here superposition theorem states that the sum of responses is equal to, here the current flowing through any branch is equal to sum of the currents flowing through the branch when each energy source is acting alone while other sources are inactive. So let us take, suppose let us consider V1. Let us consider only V1. Suppose if V1 is only there, V1, and V2 is 0. So here we have this R1, this is R2, this is R3. So all of you write, draw this diagram in a book. Now what about V2? V2 is equal to 0. If you short circuit the voltage source, if you replace the voltage source by a short circuit, you are going to get a voltage as 0. You can make voltage to 0 by um, short circuiting by replacing the voltage source with short circuit. Now here, is it clear? Short circuit means resistance will be 0, so voltage will be 0. V equal to IR, so voltage will be 0 and resistance is 0. So we can make V2 equal to 0 by replacing the voltage source V2 with a short circuit. So here there will be current flowing to this R2. So this current will be different from IL. IL is the current flowing through R2, the same branch, with both the sources, both V1 and V2. When V1 is only there and V2 is equal to 0, the current flowing through R2 will not be equal to IL. So let us make it as I1. I am making it as I1. Is it clear? Only one voltage source V1. Current flowing through this branch will be I1. Next. Next, let us make V1 is equal to 0. That is inoperative. Now here, now the current flowing through R2. Okay. In order to mention I2, I drawn this somewhat lengthy. So here V2, we are going to have some V2. We are going to apply V2. This is R1, R2, R3. Now if you apply only voltage V2, let us apply, so here V2, so there will be current flowing through R2 which will be different from I and I1. So I am naming it as I2. So these two are very important diagrams. All of you write down these diagrams. All of you draw these diagrams, please. These are very important. Once you finish, you respond. Now here IL is a current flowing through R2 when both the voltage sources are there, V1 and V2. If only V1 is there, current flowing through the same branch, that is R2, it will be different from IL. Let us name it as I1. Next, V2 is there and V1 is 0. The current flowing through the same branch will be I2. Now, superposition theorem states that is whatever the IL is there, this will be equal to I1 plus I2. The superposition theorem states that IL is equal to I1 plus I2. So, do you have any doubts in this? Here, all of this here. If you have any doubts, you ask me. If both voltage sources are there, then the current is IL. Only V1 is there. I'm taking the current as I1, and if only V2 is there, I'm taking the current as I2. And superposition theorem states that IL is equal to I1 plus I2. So coming to the statement, see here. So see the statement. It states that if any linear bilateral network contains more than one source, see here, more than one source, more than one source. So it is given that more than one source. If any linear bilateral network contains more than one source, Sorry, I kept the microphone in mute. Here. So do you have any doubts here in this explanation? So IL is equal to I1 plus I2. See here, IL is the current flowing through the branch when two voltage sources are acting, and I1 is the current flowing through the same branch if only I1 V1 is acting alone, and V2 is equal to 0. Suppose if you apply only V2 and V1 is equal to 0, then the current flowing through the branch is I2. So superposition theorem states that IL is equal to I1 plus I2. So if you see the statement, it states that any linear bilateral network contains more than one source. Then the current flowing through any branch is the sum of all currents, which would flow through that branch if each source is considered separately, and all other sources being killed or deactivated. So how to deactivate a voltage source? You have to replace the voltage source by short circuit. Short circuit means voltage will be zero. That means IR equal to 0. I equal to 0 means V will be 0. And current source should be replaced by open circuit. In open circuit, your current will be 0. So that is about superposition theorem. So here, if you have any doubts, here. Is it clear? Yeah, please respond. Anyone?
Yes, sir, but sir, give one example, sir, how to calculate that I1, I2.
Yeah, a little bit louder once again. Yeah, tell me. Another example you want? This will be covered in the lab. This will be covered in the subject. In the subject, you will be having more types of uh, models. You will be having one voltage source, one current source. Like that, you will be having a number of circuits. So in that, you can go through that. So here, V2 can be made 0 by using a short circuit. And here, how to make V1 as 0 means by replacing the voltage source by short circuit. This explain this circuit is okay. Here, IL is equal to I1 plus I2. Is it okay? Have you understood? This is the superposition theorem. So the response through any branch is equal to sum of the responses when each individual source is acting alone and other sources are deactivated. Now I will explain the uh, practical circuit. So here this is the superposition theorem kit. Here you can connect a voltage source at these two terminals, or you can connect another voltage source at these two terminals, or you can connect both the voltage sources here, and you can measure the current flowing through this branch by using a ammeter between these 2 points. So between these two terminals, you can connect an ammeter to measure the current flowing through the resistor R2. So first I am going to connect a voltage source V1. So positive terminal to positive terminal. So now I am making V2 as 0 by placing a short circuited wire. So here I am connecting ammeter to measure the current flowing through R2. Next, I am making a V1 as 0 by replacing the voltage source by short circuit, and I am applying the voltage V2. Now here I am getting. Next, I am going to apply the voltage at both sides. I am making V1 is 5 volts and V2 as 5 volts in the next step. So I am applying the 5 volts at both sides. V1 equal to 5 volts, V2 equal to 5 volts. I am going to get the current as 4.9. Similarly, repeat the experiment for 10 volts, 15 volts. So finally here you are going to get these values. So here, when V1 equal to 5 volts, you see here, when V1 equal to 5 volts, when V1 equal to 5 volts and V2 equal to 0, when V1 equal to 5 volts, V2 equal to 0, so the current is 1.8 I got. Next, when V1 equal to 10 volts, V2 equal to 0, I will be getting 3.6. So first, when V1 equal to 5 volts, V2 equal to 0, I got 1.8. Next, if I increase the voltage V1, then I got I1 as 3.6. Like this, you are going to get these values. You are going to get for 15 and 20, you are going to get 5.5, and I got 5.5 and 7.3. So these are the values of I1 when V1 equal to this voltages. I got I1 as this currents for V2 equal to 0. How to make V2 as 0? By replacing the voltage source by short circuit. Next I am going to make V1 as 0 by placing a short circuit. Just by using a connecting wire across the terminals, I am making V1 as 0. Next, if I apply V2 equal to 5 volts, I am going to get I2 as 2.7. Next, for 10 volts, we are going to get 5.4. I got this for 5.4. Next, I applied V2 equal to 15 volts. Then I got I2 as 8.2. So next, I made V2 as 20 volts. I got I2 as 10.9. Next, in the next step, I am going to add I1 and I2. So I am going to get these values. So after getting these values, here after getting these values I1 and I2, next I am going to connect the circuit exactly like this. So here, next I am going to connect the circuit exactly like this. So this one. So I connect the circuit exactly like this with V1 equal to 5 volts, V2 equal to 5 volts. Then I am going to get these values. So these are the values I am going to get. If V1 equal to V2 equal to 5 volts, I am going to get 4.5. When V1 equal to V2 equal to 10 volts, I got 9.1. Similarly, I got these values. And if you compare these two columns, they are almost same. That is, superposition theorem is verified. Here, so how you are going to get this I1 using this circuit? For getting I1, this is the circuit, and for getting I2, this is the circuit, and for getting the IL, this is the circuit. So I1, I2, IL, and after that you are going to note down in the table I1, I2, IL. So if you do I1 plus I2, so this I1 plus I2 will be equal to this IL. So is it clear this? If you understood these circuits, then you can easily understand the table. If you understand the circuits, then easily you can understand the table. So for getting this tabular form, these values. So for getting these values are I got from figure 2. Using figure 2, I got these values. using figure 2 I got these values, and so if you take this as figure 1, this is figure 1, this is figure 2, this is figure 3. So if you see the table values, so using 2 I got this I1, using this 2 I got this I1. Now for I2, for getting I2, how you are going to get I2? Using which figure?
Figure 3.
Figure 3, yes. Using using 3. So here, after this, you have to add these two values. You are going to get this column. Next, so this will be using figure 1. So using figure 1, where V1 equal to V1 and V2 are there. So here, for example, if V1 equal to 5 volts, I am going to get this I1. V2 equal to 5 volts. V2 equal to 5 volts. V2 equal to 5 volts. I'm going to get I2. And here, for this, V1 equal to 5 volts. V2 is also 5 volts. If you apply both voltages, then I will be getting IL. So I noted this IL in this last column, and you can observe that I1 plus I2 will be equal to IL. So once go through the statement, you can find the statement further clear in your textbook, or your sir may be giving the notes material in that you can find the same concept will be the same, but you can get nice wordings. So I will keep the superposition theorem from the textbook, and I will send it in the classroom. I will send today in the classroom. So it is not looking good. First understand the concept. I will send the statement which gives more clarity about the superposition theorem. I will post it in the classroom. So let me take the attendance. Sixty-one.